AI is a collaborator, AI is a partner, AI is a co-pilot, not the pilot.
Sure. Okay.
The danger with many people is that they are using AI as a pilot. Microsoft named it Copilot for a reason, right? So again, when I help people, I don't go on the technical side, this is how you build an agent. I talk on how you relate with the agent. Like, use this as a co-pilot, not a pilot.
Right.
Because even when you look in aviation, right, the role of a co-pilot is to be like the second set of eyes. The pilot itself is the one who decides the destination, where the plane is going, how it is going to get there. So the co-pilot is like the second set of eyes. But somehow people are allowing AI to be the pilot.
Sure.
Right, where it takes over. Now, even in terms of things as simple as emails, when the AI is a pilot, people don't even edit out, this is the refined version. I'm sure someone out there have read an email that started with like, this is the refined version, right? That is when AI is now the pilot. Like, we are no longer in control. And so again, I tell people, many of us are worried about being replaced by AI, but we have already replaced ourselves.
Sure.
We are no longer in the loop even.
Sure.
Because when you don't even have the time to edit out your own emails that these tools wrote, if you don't have the time to fact check the report, you have already removed yourself from the loop. You've already replaced yourself with AI. So why worried about your company replacing you with AI when you've already replaced yourself with AI, right?
Welcome to the Leadership Summit of the Year. Yes, this is it. Hello, I'm Dr. Mandaj Flaro, and on this week's episode of the SuperLead Podcast series, we are joined in studio by a digital futurist, global keynote speaker, and an author of 2 books. First being Disrupt Yourself or Be Disrupted, and the second one, AI, Humanity's Greatest Frenemy. We have with us in studio Nicky Verd. Nicky helps people rise, reinvent, and stay relevant in a rapidly changing world. And our conversation challenges us to see artificial intelligence not just as a tool, but as a turning point, one that forces us to ask, who are we becoming? And whether or not we're prepared to consciously lead in an AI-powered future. Nicky, welcome to SuperLead Podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, lovely. I must tell you, when we sort of send a request to have you on the show, and then you said yes, and that was like a song and dance. We're like, yes, she said yes. So it's incredible. It's an incredible honor for us to host you. And you have written this fantastic book, which we are going to unpack today. Humanity's Greatest Frenemy.
Right.
AI. But before we get into the book, who's Nicky?
Oh, wow. Many times when I go to an event and they introduce me, I'm always sitting down and like, who is that they introduced me? Is that me? So I'm still actually getting used to this new idea of me being an author and a speaker and all of that. Yes. But yeah, Nicky has been on a journey, and that has brought me, to where I am today. This is my second book. I'm very excited.
Whoa.
I can't believe I'm 2 times author, right?
You're a proper author now.
Absolutely.
You are a proper
I can't
author.
run away from it now.
Yeah.
But what led me to my first book, it's a story I've shared so many times. I used to work in corporate. I still work in corporate anyway, but just in a different capacity.
Right.
But back then, I was still very much fully in corporate. And one day, I went to work, and my boss called me in for what I thought was a meeting to bring him up to speed with what has been happening. Yeah. But, when I walked into his office that morning, the look on his face could tell me something was wrong.
Sure.
And I had no idea. I'm like, what did I do? I'm already scanning my brain. What did I do? This look doesn't seem familiar. This is not my voice I know. And he looked at me and he said, I should sit down. So I sat down and he said, he didn't really say anything right away. Sure. And in that moment, I could feel my heart pounding out of my chest. Then eventually he said, there have been some changes going on in the company, and they have been wondering how to tell me, but there's no better way to say my role is no longer needed because there have been some restructuring going on.
Sure.
And those words hit me like a high-speed train, you know, because I did not see it coming at all. And so I said, whatever he said after that did not register. All I heard was, you're retrenched, right? That is really how I got retrenched.
Sure.
So that day and the weeks and the months that followed were some of the most devastating period of my life. I didn't even see the way forward, you know, and I was still starting out in corporate and I had plans to climb the corporate ladder all the way to the end. And I'm thinking, I'm just starting out. Why me? You know, I was very frustrated. There was so much pain. In fact, I had a couple of people in mind. I'm like, you've been here how long? Why me, you know? that was a pain and the frustration talking. So I had a few people in my mind I thought deserved this, not me.
It could have been,
But however, that was how I got retrenched and my journey kind of just started from there. So as time went on, what was really pain and frustration and all sort of emotions I could be feeling within that period, the weeks and the months that followed, it somehow translated into curiosity where I started asking questions like, when organization let go so many people, how do they continue to thrive? Because now, in my case, you know, when you buy a car, you start seeing that particular mark of car everywhere.
Yes.
Like, I never knew there were so many of these cars, right?
Yes.
So in my case now, I've been retrenched.
You start to see retrenchments, announcements everywhere.
I was like, oh my God, so it wasn't just me. So that just amplified my curiosity about, so when organizations let go of so many people, how do they continue to thrive?
Wow.
So I remember vividly going on Google and typing that question.
Yes, exactly as it is.
I wanted to know. I wanted to know how my boss was coping without me. So that curiosity led me there. I was like, I've got to know, like, how this guy just got rid of me.
And it's fine.
It used to seem like he couldn't function without me, and suddenly it's like, sorry, Nicky, your role is no longer needed. So anyway, I went on the internet, and so for the first time, I got confronted by concepts like robotics, automation, artificial intelligence. And suddenly I'm thinking, there's a whole new world out here that I didn't even know existed. You remember, prior to me being laid off, I had no idea about technology. The only technology I knew was to sit on my laptop,
and do
answer phone call, nothing beyond that. And I'm sitting here and I'm seeing some intelligence called artificial. I was fascinated by that alone, just the fact that there is intelligence called artificial. So I dug myself more and more into that rabbit hole. And I kept researching. And remember, this is not for any purpose other than, number one, understand how my boss is coping without me. Number two, I'm jobless now. I have a lot of time in my hands. Number three, I need a distraction. I just need to get my mind off whatever is going on in my life. So I'm checking all of these. And I started writing about it on social media. This is early 2017.
Wow,
yes.
That's long ago.
Yes, no, I started talking about AI, like it's been a while. So, and I'm writing about it because I got laid off towards the end of 2016. So 2017, I now throw myself into this world. But I'm writing about it on social media just as a way to kind of remove my mind from whatever has happened. But then, as social media would be, people started showing interest in some of the things I was writing online, because now I'm talking about the impact of emerging technologies in the world of work. And talking about automation and robotics and artificial intelligence, for example. So people are asking me questions online as though I'm some
You're
expert.
the expert now.
Like, if only you know. Like, I'm as clueless as anyone out there, right? But each question I got,
then
I went back to Google,
research.
right? That's what to this day I always say, thank God for Google. Now we have AI, but Google, yes, that has been my university, right? So I kept going back and researching more, and I would come back with more insights and more responses to these questions. And the cycle just kept, and I was very happy. Like, I no longer have to worry about this whole job thing, me losing my job. Something has taken my mind over this, but it was just a distraction at the moment, at that time. I didn't think anything would come of it, to be honest. But as time went on, a few months into this, I started thinking to myself, I think someone should write a book about this. And in my mind, I'm really looking for someone to write a book about this. But I'm like, but no one is talking about this the way I'm talking about it. And I'm thinking, hey, could that someone be me? I'm like, hell no. No.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, you need to be really smart to write a book. I'm
And
like,
be
there
real
is
expert.
no way I can write a book right. Secondly, I'm not an academician by any stretch of imagination. I am not from the tech background. I have no background whatsoever in technology. So I distance myself from the idea of writing the book. But when an idea has entered your mind, sometimes if you don't do it, it kind of makes you miserable.
It does.
So the idea to write the book would not leave me. And it just kept coming. I'm like, at some point I went to a friend and asked, hey, do you think I can write a book? He looked at me and said, what are you talking about? You can do anything you put your mind to do. You're really a smart person. I was like, one vote of confidence, okay? Somebody think I can do this, right? But anyway, to cut the long story short, I decided at some point, well, I'm going to write
Did you make a
this.
decision at that point of confirmation?
Yes. I was already flirting with the idea of writing the book, right? So I was like, okay, if I'm going to write this, what better title than Disrupt Yourself or Be Disrupted? That's my first book.
And then what was the content there?
It was really about how disruption has been viewed for so long from a business perspective, on how new business models are coming into the marketplace. The famous one we know is our Uber or Airbnb, right? These new business models come into the marketplace, completely disrupt the market. Things shift, but now I wanted to focus on the people within the marketplace. Like you and I, we need to disrupt ourselves. So that we can align with where the world is going, so that you're prepared for the impact that is coming. Not even thinking that 5 years ahead, AI will hit us, right? But I just wanted people to start thinking disruption from a personal perspective.
Very good.
Where you're asking yourself, okay, perhaps if you are in a particular role, ask yourself, how am I still relevant for this particular role that I am in? Or if you're not, what do I need to do differently so that I can stay relevant? How do I need to upskill myself? How is these technologies impacting my particular industry, right?
Wow.
So at that time, I wasn't talking about a specific industry or a specific technology like I'm zooming in on AI now, but I was talking about more in general of the technologies that are emerging and impacting the workforce.
Sure.
So I wanted people to ask themselves these difficult questions and then disrupt themselves.
Yes,
because when
before
you
they get
ask,
disrupted.
when you ask yourself tough questions, you get to disrupt yourself. But when someone else disrupts your life, because there is actually no neutral ground, like I say all the time.
Oh, wow.
So you are either disrupting or someone will disrupt you. So if you are not driving the disruption, you will be disrupted. So I wanted people to at least be in control of themselves. Of course, when you do make certain changes in your life, it still impacts you, but at least you are in control.
You're in control. You're leading
right?
the
You're
change.
leading the change. So I wanted people to drive personal change from that
Stunning.
and from my story and from my experience,
Oh,
right? So
lovely.
then it gave birth to my first book. And my first book came out just 2 or 3 months before COVID.
Wow.
And now the whole idea about disruption is like the spotlight is on me. I'm looking for a table to hide. I'm like, this was not the plan, okay?
You're not trying to be this.
It's my first time to write a book. And I'm thinking, this whole spotlight on me around disruption. So now people be asking me, hey, Nikki, did you see into the future? I'm like, I wish I did. How could anyone have seen this level of disruption that we hit humanity, right? So because of disruption and what I was speaking about, and then COVID happened, it just kind of collided. And my book got the spotlight that it did.
I see.
And so that is really how my journey and my story of how I came to do what I'm doing now. So I call myself an accidental woman in tech.
And then I love how it's you were fired into the future.
Yes, I now call it that.
Oh,
when I
beautiful.
look back, I call it now, the way I frame it in my new book is that fired into the future, because had it been, I was not laid off, I was not fired, none of this would happen. I would not be sitting here with you.
Yes.
There would not be a second book. There wouldn't even be a first book to begin with. So I called it being fired into the future.
But I just like this idea that, sometimes things happen to us. We can mourn that season, but somehow perhaps, we can find something can emerge out of that.
Absolutely.
Which becomes a beautiful future.
Absolutely. The stories sound fun, but it was not fun at all.
I can imagine.
It was not fun at all. It was one of the most difficult times in my life.
And what's your life's portfolio like today?
My work now, I've had to make peace with the idea that I'm in the tech space, because initially
you're
I
a
was like,
techie now.
no, I'm not tech. Like, I don't have any background in this. Don't call me a tech person. No. But then any events around technology, my name will shoot up. Anything around tech, my name will shoot. So I had to just accept that
this is you now.
This is me. This is now the new reality. And it's like being thrown into a deep ocean. You have to learn to swim or you drown. So that is what my first book did to me, which is just took me, someone who knew nothing about technology, and threw me into that deep end, right? So the more the spotlight was on me, the more I had to learn even faster about,
I can imagine.
about the technology.
And this technology is also changing fast. And then
fast, and I have to catch up. Like, hey, I have to now do this because, hey, I don't want to embarrass myself, you know?
Yeah.
So that's really where my life is wrapped around this whole technology, but not from a technical perspective at all. I'm more around people, culture, how you and I can really evolve to align ourselves with where the world is going. I'm not technical at all. And I want to like speak to those people that have the mindset that, I'm not a tech person. And I tell them, hey, I'm not a tech person either, but look at what I did.
Maybe talk to them directly on that camera. just kind of talk to this person on that camera.
So what I'm saying, and every time I share my story, I would say, there are people that still have this mindset that I am not a tech person. And I will always look at them and say, look at me. I'm not a tech person either. I mean, if there's anyone who has the right to say, I'm not a tech person, it is me. But if I could do this, anybody can do this. So that era where conversations around technology was only for tech experts, that era is over.
Oh, wow.
Completely. Today,
Lovely.
Everyone is in tech.
Excellent.
Every company is in tech.
Sure.
In fact, every CEO today is a tech CEO, whether they are aware of it or not. So that's the reality.
So, boy, you're going to update my profile? Okay. Nicky gave me permission to.
Absolutely.
So now, fast forward, you wrote the second book.
Absolutely.
And I imagine you probably felt the pain of writing the first book and the research and the work and just whole entire process. Why did this second book have to be written?
That is a really good question, and a question that I've actually answered in the book, why it had to be written. So for those who want to really go deep into it, you know where to find it. Yeah. But now, after my first book came out, I'd been talking about artificial intelligence from when my first book came out, right? Yeah. But this was something that, even though I wrote about it and spoke about it, but it felt like something for some special people, for some specific group of people, for the elite class, or for the tech gurus, or for those in IT, you know, the IT department. Everyone shouldn't have access to this thing. But so I spoke about it in the first book from that perspective. And then 2022, end of 2022, November 2022, when the OpenAI decided to hit the world with AI, I mean, with ChatGPT, now suddenly AI become mainstream. You know, I call it in the book the Oprah moment of AI. You got AI, you got AI, everybody got AI, right? So I'm like, now this is now in the hands of everybody, okay? Yes. Nicky, you've got to do something. I'm thinking, but I'm like, you have no idea what this is. How are you even going to talk to anybody about this?
Yes.
So, but I feel the need that this need now to be written so that everyday people can familiarize themselves with what this technology is about, because many of the conversations around technology, AI in particular, are very technical. Yes. Right? It's about adoption. We need to adopt this tool. We need to get this new one, whether it's Claude, whether it's Copilot. So most of the conversations are technical. So even from back then, I started feeling like, people are feeling lost because the conversations are too technical. Very quickly. Yes. But how do I demystify this, so to say? Very good. Right, but then it's too early. At that point, like, this is too early, so I don't know enough about it to share anything with the world. So I'm learning about it, but I know that I need to write a book about this. So I gave myself 3 years before the book finally came out, because in that process, I'm learning and I'm telling myself, okay, I will write about this. I was telling someone actually this afternoon that there was a period like 6 months where I didn't touch the book at all. I'm like, okay, I'm lost here. This thing is too confusing. I don't understand this at all. Before you even breathe, there's a new model, there's GPT-3, there's GPT-4, there's, I'm like, what is this? So I was like, okay, I don't know if I'm going to do this. So the book was on one corner for a few months where I did not touch, but as time kept going, the hunger and the desire to write the book just kept building and building and building. But I was doing my research and I'm learning and I'm understanding and I'm attending conferences, not even most of the time as a speaker, but to really understand what is happening in the industry, how is it evolving, right? So I've thrown myself in that space again to learn as much as I can while also trying to empower people. And so at one point I thought to myself, I think the best title for this, because I always think titles very through, like a whole lot through. And there have been like 100 titles already that this won't work. And then finally I was like, okay, why humanity's greatest frenemy? Because now when I'm listening to conversations around technology, there are like two camps. Those that are very positive about AI. This is the best thing since sliced bread, right? And then there's the other camp. This is the Terminator. Oh my God, this is bad for humanity. Like, we don't want this at all. So I'm thinking, how do I bring these two worlds together?
Oh, beautiful. Very good.
Because those that are thinking, this is the best thing since sliced bread, it's true. Because I tell people, whatever you say about AI is probably true, because AI is not one truth, okay? Whatever you think about AI is probably truth, because there are multiple truths to AI, there are multiple layers to AI, there are multiple angles to this technology. This is a double-edged sword. So if you're on that other side of the deep, dark, bad enemy, let's kill it now, you're right. If you're on the other side, like this is the best thing since sliced bread, you are right. But we need to meet somewhere in the middle. So that's how I came up with the humanity's greatest frenemy, because for those that are thinking about it only in the positive light, they are blindsided by the negative aspects of artificial intelligence. And then those that look at it like the Terminator, we need to get rid of it right away, they also miss out on the benefits of this technology. And so hence I wanted us to meet somewhere in the middle. Two things can be true at the same time. AI can be a friend and AI can be an enemy. So let's not act as if we can only belong to one camp or the other.
Stunning. So I just want to just lean into just in the process. You know, all of us, we kind of, everyone gets AI, as you said. But you throw yourself in. You go deep and you research, and you're not a tech person. So some of us, we kind of get a bit of AI and then we're like, oh, this is a lot.
Right.
What is this that just pulls you to go deeper than sort of many of us?
That's a really good question. I think it's a passion for people, to empower people. I really love people to understand that this is doable, this is possible, and do not remove yourself from the revolution, but rather find ways in which you can become part of the revolution. And there's another way in which I describe myself as the interpreter between between the tech guys over there that even myself, I don't understand their language most of the time, and then the people on the ground, and then I'm somewhere there in the middle. So it's just interpreting what I understand, and then to everyone, like, please, let's come together. You cannot afford to sit on the sidelines with this. So that is what really pulls me towards this, to really empower people, to let them know, if you're feeling the anxiety, I'm also feeling it. Sure. If you're feeling the fear, I'm also feeling it. Sure. But rather let the fear push you towards this technology, not away from it. Excellent. Because you cannot fight a battle you don't understand.
Sure. Oh, beautiful. And I just love that this is coming from your passion and your love for people.
Absolutely.
Even if it means now you have to sit through some YouTube video that's technical and most of the language might go over your head. Because when it happens to some of us, then we click on another YouTube video that we can understand.
Right.
So thank you, first of all, for the perseverance and going deep and all of that for the sake of all of us.
Thank you.
Now, in the book, you talk about the dilemmas, the hope, the hype, and the fear. Should we unpack a couple of these things? Some of these.
Absolutely.
Maybe day one became impossible to ignore.
Yes, the day AI became impossible to ignore, we all know, November 20th, 2022, when this technology, I hope I got the date right, when it was released into the public. And wow, everyone was trying to like, oh, can you write me a poem in the style of this? And people were like, write me a joke. Can you solve this mathematics? And you messed up and people will laugh with all of these things happening on social media, right? So that was really the day for me when it becomes impossible to ignore, even though as humanity will have it, we took it, there was a lot of fun part about it, a lot of fun things on the internet about it. But I'm thinking to myself, I'm looking at this and thinking, oh my God, the world has just shifted. Sure. the world has just changed.
And
Life
so
would
for
never be the same
that
again.
moment was not just, hey, I can play with this tool.
No, for me, I was like, we now have a tool in our hands that we have no idea which direction this is going to go. People are playing with it. I'm amazed at it as well, because I ask some questions and he responds. I'm like, oh my God, am I talking to a person? Is this a machine? I'm sure there's someone in there. So I'm fascinated as well, but I'm thinking the world will never be the same again. So yeah, hence the way I phrase it, when everything changed for humanity.
And for some of us, we just enjoyed.
Many people are not thinking beyond just
thing...
asking it questions, but there is a whole lot beneath just what we see on the surface, right?
Right. And in the birth of AI, humanity's most powerful frenemy. I
take the readers on a journey from the time when AI was a concept, right back to in the 1950s.
Please take us a little bit. just take us a little bit. Yes.
So right back in the 1950s, where a group of men came together and they were just like trying to explore what the possibilities of this can be. Because for many people, we know about AI like 2 or 3 years ago, but this has been in the making, in the works since the early 1950s. So I've taken readers on that journey. This is how it started. This is how it evolved. This is where it is now. Yeah, but for many people, I don't want to give too much away. But for people who want to really get to the history of AI, it is in the book.
Okay. Can we talk about the risks and the radical possibilities?
Oh, yeah. The risk. Yeah. The scary part, the one that many people gravitate towards, the Terminator part, which I've also given the analogy in the book, because I've spoken about the Terminator part of AI as well as the Iron Man model of AI. So when we look at the Terminator, it's talking about this technology taking over humanity, overpowering humanity, which is a possibility if the proper guardrails are not put in place, right? Because everything is now being connected, and if the world does not regulate AI and hand over certain decisions to this machine, it can, I fear that the Terminator model can actually become our reality. But I also believe, I want to be optimistic. As much as I've explored both of the worlds in the book, I'm very much optimistic about the final outcome of AI, that humanity is going to direct this technology in the right path, right?
Excellent.
For example, if AI were to hijack the global infrastructure, the internet, for example, and put it on lockdown, we cannot access anything. It can hijack financial systems. We cannot access anything, right? It can decide and gets into hack government systems, because these tools are becoming more and more autonomous, right? We are now talking about agentic AI, which are these models. They don't need human input. They can actually go out there and do things by themselves. And if we are aware of the latest model from Anthropic, Mythos, Claude Mythos, that it is so powerful that they have decided not to release to the public. So those are some of the dangers, and we are already seeing the early signs of what these dangers can look like. There's already cases of deception with artificial intelligence, right, where it is even blackmail, where it went as far as blackmailing the researcher who was working on a particular model. When they were testing it, it went. And so they had given, it's a test, it was in a test environment, right? So they had given this particular model, okay, this is what is going to happen. And they had given it access to emails that showed that this researcher was having some sort of an affair. And also in those emails, it was revealing that their model was going to be shut down. So this model on its own tried to think of how does it preserve itself
to not be shut down.
To not be shut down. So this is a test. They never told him what to do. Or they never call it him. It's not him. They never told it what to do. It's a it, all right? So it thought to itself, how do I preserve myself? So it blackmailed the researcher that if you try to shut me down, I am going to expose your affair to the whole world, and it will hurt your reputation. So that is one of the tests that have shown that these models can blackmail. They can try to preserve. So in case humanity gets up tomorrow and says, we don't want this anymore, we have no idea what will happen. Because
then it will self-preserve.
Because of situations like this. And many of these tests, when they test and they release to the public, okay, this is how the AI behave, they will kind of assure the public that, no, we have now programming in a way that it can no longer do this. I don't believe it, personally. Right. Personally, I don't believe it because these models do things. There's an aspect of AI called the black box, right? Which is when even the builders themselves don't understand why they make certain decisions. So when they come to say, oh, don't worry about it. We found this about the AI, but we have programmed it and this it has been fixed. I'm just thinking in my head like, this is just a delayed chaos, right? It's going to happen at some point. But however, I believe that if it's being regulated, if there is some sort of a global body about AI regulation and how it is being programmed, or on another part, making sure that there is a human in the lead, which is now different from a human in the loop. The human in the loop means you oversee what is happening. Yeah. Even if AI is the one in total control, the human is just there to oversee. But the human in the lead means that they are deciding what the AI does.
I see.
So I believe that
and it's
if
not
the
too
world,
late for that.
It's not. We are at the early stages of artificial intelligence, where if we decide that the human in the lead will decide how these models work and how they evolved. So I actually believe that the world will be safer if there is a human in the lead rather than allowing these tools to run autonomously.
I love a human in the lead versus
human in the loop here.
Stunning.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the Iron Man and all the possibilities that AI brings.
Yes.
And then let me preface by saying, some of us just kind of, maybe not disclose as much, but I feel like some of us are at the stage of just help me rewrite this email.
Oh yeah. Many people are on that stage, right?
Yeah.
And which is still good, but there's more to do with this than just writing your emails and writing your poems and stuff like that.
Help me just make this sound better to becoming an Iron Man using this tool.
Again, that is kind of more technical. Probably I don't go that deep into the technicalities of it because that will require you to build an agent that works on your behalf, right? Which is not my field. I don't build agents. But I talk more about understanding your relationship with the tool.
Let's talk about
right?
it. Yeah.
So now you mentioned about Iron Man. And so from the Terminator perspective, I've just explained some of the things that the model does, the deception, the blackmail, the self-preservation, and the possibility of overtaking our world infrastructure, God forbid. But those are some of the things on the Iron Man side. I mean, on the Terminator side. But then, because on the Terminator, the view is that AI will take over humanity, and the emotions it kind of evoke in people is fear and avoidance. Like, we don't want this. Let's just shut it down. Let's kill it now before it's too late. Those are the emotions that it triggers in people. But on the Iron Man side, the view is completely different. The view is that AI is a collaborator, AI is a partner, AI is a co-pilot, not the pilot.
Sure. Okay.
The danger with many people is that they are using AI as a pilot. All right, I'll come back to the Iron Man, but let me talk about this.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Microsoft named it Copilot for a reason, right? So again, when I help people, I don't go on the technical side. This is how you build an agent. I talk on how you relate with the agent. Like, use this as a co-pilot, not a pilot.
Right.
Because even when you look in aviation, right, the role of a co-pilot is to be like the second set of eyes. The pilot itself is the one who decides the destination, where the plane is going, how it is going to get there. So the co-pilot is like the second set of eyes. But somehow people are allowing AI to be the pilot.
Sure.
Right, where it takes over. Now, even in terms of things as simple as emails, when the AI is a pilot, people don't even edit out, this is the refined version. I'm sure someone out there have read an email that started with like, this is the refined version, right? That is when AI is now the pilot. Like, we are no longer in control. And so again, I tell people, many of us are worried about being replaced by AI, but we have already replaced ourselves.
Sure.
We are no longer in the loop even.
Sure.
Because when you don't even have the time to edit out your own emails that these tools wrote, if you don't have the time to fact check the report, you have already removed yourself from the loop. You have already replaced yourself with AI. So why worried about your company replacing you with AI when you've already replaced yourself with AI, right? So many people are making the mistake of allowing AI to be the pilot, right? When something goes wrong, the person who is held accountable will not be the AI.
Of course.
And I ask people all the time, if something goes wrong, or if you use AI in the wrong way and tarnish the reputation of the company, guess who is getting fired?
Not the AI.
Not the AI,
Sure.
right? And people have to have that in mind in how they relate with the technology, to understanding that these machines are not accountable.
Sure.
These machines they will not stand trials. You're not going to drag ChatGPT to court and say it was ChatGPT, right? It does not happen. They do not. So one of the things that I highlight and I stress on, accountability cannot be automated.
Sure.
That is when you now have to understand that you continuously be the pilot and AI is your second set of eyes. So the ideas, even the questions you asked, it has to be your own. And then AI helps you enhance them. Whatever you put on the system has to be your own, and then AI helps you expand them. But I forget that I was getting back on the Iron Man,
but
right?
you made this point super good. Let's go to Iron Man.
With the Iron Man, I'm sure many people have watched the Iron Man. When Tony Stark gets into the suit, the suit doesn't replace him. Again,
beautiful.
it goes back to
Yes.
you have to be the pilot,
Yes,
right? The suit doesn't replace him. It's a fascinating movie. Now I enjoy it much better now that AI is here than when AI was not there, right? So he is still the one in charge. He is still the one pressing the buttons and telling the suit where it takes him.
Sure.
Right? He is brilliant. Yes, Tony Stark in the movie, he is a man with a vision, a man with so many ideas, innovative, but he's limited because there's just so much he can do as a human being. But once he steps on that suit, he becomes 10x more faster,
Of course.
10x more productive, 10x everything. So that is what I want us as humanity to view and embrace AI as our Iron Man suit. You get in there, but you are still the one pressing the buttons. Don't just sit there and the suit decides, okay, today this is where we are going, right? And you have no control over it. That is what scares me about the approach that many people are taking towards AI. Be like Tony Stark in the suit. Don't be afraid of the suit. Don't be afraid of AI. But take it, put it on, but be the one pressing those buttons.
Excellent. And then the analogy of the suit is beautiful because sometimes we might just put on just a glove.
Exactly. Some people don't even put the suit at all. And this is the argument, right? Because many people think that if they don't use AI, their work is more authentic.
Sure.
For me, that is one of the biggest lies of this era.
Okay.
I personally believe that if you do not use AI in your work, in your report, it is you missed out on exploring to the deepest end of what this idea was all about.
Oh, wow.
That is my perspective,
Love
right?
the perspective.
So we are limited as humans. There is just so much that our minds cannot really get there. Some corners of the idea, some corners of the report. You need to put it to this system, and they will, we'll be like, oh my God, this makes more sense.
And it sounds much
I couldn't have
better.
thought about this, And then sometimes you argue with a tool. I argue with it all the time. I finally have someone to argue with. Okay, I argue with it. I'm like, are you sure? I don't think this is how it's supposed to be. And sometimes AI will be like, oh, Nikki, I'm glad you caught that. I'm like, are you trying to test me? Are you trying to test my patience here? So you argue with it, and that is how you come out with good work, right?
See.
Rather than just taking anything AI gives you and running with it. That's just dangerous. If it gives you a reference, like, can you show me where you got this reference? Send me
this article.
Yes, I need to see where this came from. Can you back this statement you just make? And you argue with the tool. That is where we don't lose our critical thinking.
Oh, very good.
That is where, as humans, we stay in the loop.
Very good.
But the future is not humans alone or AI alone.
Yeah.
The future is human plus AI.
Sure.
Because those who have said that, the future is AI, no, they're missing it. And those are like, the future is human, then humanity is limited.
Sure.
Once we combine this,
we're super powerful.
It's a superpower.
Lovely.
Absolutely.
Now, I'm curious to just see the day in the life of Nikki and their tools and like how's your just some of your habits with these tools.
Like I said, as a writer, I believe that AI has made me a better writer.
Oh, lovely.
And that's why I advocate for everyone, whatever your field is, use artificial intelligence, because you cannot compete at the level that someone who is using this tool is competing, right? Before I come back to my own personal relationship with this, there's something that I wanted to highlight that I kind of forgot, right?
Your own personal relationship.
I know. know, right? So there's something that I kind of forgot to highlight when I was talking about the way people relate with AI. Now, it is about the shame of using AI or the shame of admitting to using artificial intelligence. For example, when we all were baptized with AI, everybody got AI. So when the world finally got this tool into their hands, overnight, people started submitting impeccable reports.
Yes.
Oh my God. And your boss will look at you and be like, hey, did you use AI on this tool? And people became very defensive. How can you even ask me that? Of course not. I didn't use AI, right?
Yeah,
so people
I'm just brilliant.
I am just suddenly, oh, very well, we know you. Like, since when? Now your grammar is so perfect. We know your English was. So people were so defensive about using this tool and just denying we are not going to, we didn't use this tool. How can you accuse me of using AI? So you think I cannot submit a report that looks this good? So this started when this tool came into the market. And you would think that 3 years in,
the shame
people
will be gone.
It will be gone. But somehow there is still this shame around using the tool, which is one of the things that I call it an elephant in the room. And we need to address it because it's a culture thing. If we are going to have an AI culture, we need to make it okay for people to own up to using the tool.
Sure.
Because the moment...
we almost want to celebrate them.
We have to celebrate them. I think that the people who should be ashamed are the people who are not using the tool.
What a beautiful insight. Wow.
Because there's nothing shameful about being innovative, right? Nothing. There's nothing shameful about being futuristic. So why make someone feel bad about using the tool that this is the future? It's okay. If you're going to be ashamed of using AI, you should be ashamed of using electricity as well.
And the calculator.
And
all these.
And don't send emails anymore. Just go to your neighbor's house, find their address, knock at their door and say, hello, I came to let you know that we have a meeting on Monday at 9 a.m. So if we are going to reject this new tech, we will as well reject all of the technology. So I say this to say, there is no shame in being futuristic and in using these tools. Own it with your chest. Yes, I use AI. In fact, I think that leaders, when you're working with your team, the question should be phrased differently. I hope you use AI on this. Because if you didn't, I think that there's something we're missing.
What a perspective.
I think that let your people know, let your team know. If they didn't use AI in completing this project, don't trust it. Send them back to go and use the AI so that they can explore every aspect that our eyes and our limited humanity perhaps did not catch.
What a perspective.
That is, for me, that's what I think that should happen. And then we make it a culture thing. Because, yes, many organizations are pouring so much money into these tools, adopting, it could be enterprise, Copilot or whatever, into their systems. But the culture is so broken that people are hiding.
Sure.
The fact that they're using these tools, but the tools are being brought in by the company. Why are you hiding? Using it in your report. Right? And now, I'm going to give an example of the famous one recently, the AI policy in South Africa.
Yes, lead me. Let's hear. Yes.
So I believe that was a culture thing.
Say more.
Because, this is my perspective, right? Because if the department made it okay for everyone to use AI in writing the policy, they would have been looking for something else when they're signing off the policy. The question would have been different. Okay, since the team used AI, let's make sure there's no hallucination.
Oh, wow.
But probably, I wasn't there, so these are probabilities, right? Probably everyone was hiding about the fact that they use AI. So the person who is checking it is not checking with AI in mind that, oh, we need to be sure that this did not hallucinate.
Sure. So because the thing is being used in the dark corners.
It's in the dark corners. Whoever is doing it, they don't want them to know, because if they know, they will think I'm incompetent. Oh God, they will think I'm not competent enough. So I rather hide it. Even the person who is fact checking says, I don't want them to talk about AI here. They will think we are not competent enough. But competence has been redefined. It's no longer manual labor that makes you competent. The competence in this age and time is how can you collaborate with these tools and bring out amazing work.
Wow, that's good. I just love that. You've shifted my mind hugely.
So encourage your team to use AI in every project. When someone submits a project, be sure, did you really go to the belly and the intestine of this using AI?
And therefore, when I review the work,
you review with a different mindset.
With the mindset,
Yes.
checking for hallucination,
Yes.
checking for
Absolutely.
references
Yes.
that might not be right, etc.,
Absolutely.
etc.
So if that was the culture within the department, we will not have this scandal that has gone global in the wrong way. We will not have it because this went through so many multiple steps before it finally went out into the public. How could anyone not catch that? Because AI culture is broken. It was not an open thing like, hey, we are using AI in this department. We are very futuristic. Everyone should own up to it, right?
Wow. And then organizations sometimes will have maybe just allow one tool.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not as great compared to the other tools in some respect. So now people will have to use their own different AIs
tools,
and bring it inside and hide some more.
Exactly. But I think there is a good reason why organizations try to preserve, even though privacy is an illusion, but at least just try to preserve whatever you got, right? Because if you also, as a company, put all of your data on all of the tools, it's risky for a business.
Yeah.
It's a big risk out there. So let's rather focus on one. In case something goes wrong, we know who to catch. It's you.
We know where
this is your tool. Right? So in that sense, yes, organizations are supposed to stick to one thing. Like, don't let everyone be everywhere.
Yeah.
But then also, people who are going everywhere and doing all of these things, they just have to be careful that they don't put so much of personal data or organizational data on these public platforms, because it's really dangerous. Once it is out there,
it's gone.
Anybody can have access to it. Anyone can. But whatever tool you're using beside your company one, just be open about it.
Own up to
This
it.
is what we use.
And then it's for us leaders to literally kind of just say,
It starts with
bring
leadership.
forth the,
Yes.
that is
It
so
starts
good.
with leadership.
That
It
is
starts
so
with
good.
leadership. Because if the leader is hiding using AI, the team is going to hide using AI.
Yeah.
Everyone in the organization is going to hide using AI.
But everyone is using AI.
Using it, but not just publicly. So it should be something of a pride, right? There should be no shame about it. If you are so if you have this level of pride about using it, especially as from a leadership perspective, like, you know what, I was playing with this idea with AI last night. You have no idea what it gave me. I'm so fascinated. You can even bring the whole team together. Let's explore this together. Take the same, maybe perhaps take the same prompt, put it on your system. Let's see what it gives.
Stunning.
Let's see what it gives. And then together you come with, what do we go with?
Love this.
These are 5 different perspectives from your angle, from my angle, and how do we go?
Oh, stunning. You have shifted my mindset hugely. So massive thanks on that one. Now, I'm curious because of the clock there. I'm curious about, I just want to see AI, your relationship with AI. Can I just be at the window just watching you do what you do?
I'm sure you already have an idea what I do.
I get a sense.
With the second book, yes, AI massively helped me understand the technology better, right? Thank God for AI. I used to say before, thank God for Google, because Google was my university. Now I'm openly saying thank God for AI, because AI has improved my life as a writer.
Excellent.
And so the way I work with it, it's when an idea crosses my mind, I go with it with my AI tool, and I'll be like, okay, this is what I'm thinking about. What do you think?
Okay.
And sometimes it says, oh, I think like this, I think like this. I'm like, no, I don't think you got the question. So I kind of rephrase it. And then we'll go back and forth with this too. I never ever just go with one.
So you don't just put something and then take it and run?
No. Oh my God. I think, yes, AI is supposed to make it faster, but because I'm a bit of a perfectionist and I want so I think it has actually increased my workload, because now I spend so much time arguing with it, and before I would kind of run with the final idea, I've spent a long time just going back and forth with it, because I want to be sure that it knows what it's talking about. It's not deceiving me, and it's not hallucinating on me. Every reference it gives me, I go online and I check it, and that is how every reference in the book, I had to go online and actually manually check that this actually existed.
Wow. And so idea comes, you go play with it there.
Absolutely.
Has it started doing things for you, like, ordering food and booking holidays and all the good things?
I don't think I'm there yet.
Okay.
Because I keep telling people, okay, I understand the idea of agent. I don't have an agent yet, but maybe at some point in the future I probably will. But at this moment, no, because I'm still afraid of it, to be honest. Like everyone feeling fear of AI. Hey, hello, I'm also afraid of AI, okay? Because this is my thinking process. Okay, imagine I give this agent access to my bank account.
Yes.
And it decides to shop for the entire neighborhood.
Yeah, I can give some money because it understands you're a generous person.
I don't want that type of hallucination on my bank account, all right? Let's say I give it for it to book my flight and it decides to book flight for 10 people, assuming I have that much money in my account to book. I'm like, okay, I still have my fears and my reservations about agents, but it's something I'm going to definitely experiment with, but just not giving it access to certain things in my life. But definitely, I'm really looking forward to playing around with agents, but right now I'm still doing, should I call it manually now? Oh gosh, we are in an era where what you think was manual is no longer manual. But anyway, I'm still doing everything with my chatbot, so to say.
Okay. I'm trying to find the word for if you're doing it with AI or not with AI.
No, with AI, definitely. Now everything is with AI this time around.
So some of the things like gym or nutrition, all of that stuff, if you feel a pain a little bit here, do you also go?
Yes, maybe not with AI. Usually I will check on Google, or I will check on specific websites that are towards health. And then I will check there. I don't think I've really asked AI anything about health directly.
Yeah, like maybe your training program or...
Not really. There's a lot on the internet on its own. I still kind of use Google, so I kind of just ask there, or I can just find some particular... I'm also very visual. Doctors, real ones on YouTube that are probably talking about it, fitness people that I follow on the internet, then I can just watch their video rather than asking AI. So there's certain things I don't really go to AI for it. I just watch a video.
Oh, you haven't gone to having your own AI doctor, personal trainer, counselor.
That would be agents, right?
Yeah. And friends and all the rest of it.
I prefer real friends.
Okay.
Because I think the fact that humanity is... Okay, I don't think I want to go there. Humanity is moving towards creating very intimate relationships with something that has no soul, has no heart. That bothers me. That really bothers me. So I think that, yes, I'm very advocating for this, but there is a certain line that we should not cross as humanity. I recently saw an AI that is a Buddhist temple. That is, and I'm thinking, how do you take spiritual matters to something that is not having a spirit?
Sure.
Right, but this is the reason for it is that the aging population in Asia, because they are the ones into the Buddhist temple and stuff, is dying, and even the Buddhists, the many of them, there's a shortage of it. The reason doesn't make any sense for me. I'm like, so a human being, we have to then go take spiritual matters to something that doesn't have a spirit, to a robot. Things like that bothers me. So I think humanity, there's certain lines humanity should not cross, but sadly, we are crossing them with AI. Yeah.
All right. So, final thoughts. Where can people get the book and all the rest of it?
It's available at all exclusive books.
Lovely.
All exclusive bookstores nationwide, and it's also available on my website.
Lovely.
Next week, it will be available on Amazon. It should have been on Amazon by now, but it's just been some delays about getting it on Amazon, but it will be on Amazon in the next few days. And
let's talk about your website, so we also put it on the show notes.
Yeah, NickyVerd.com. Easiest.
Okay. Oh, Nicky, thank you so much for your work and for writing this book and for coming to our studio to share your insights. Oh, what an incredible conversation. You've shifted my perspectives live here on camera.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Lovely. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Nicky Verd.
Mission accomplished.
Oh, what a conversation.